So Jason, could you talk a little bit more, and Whitney as well, about this large course initiative, institute, I'm sorry? Initiative, okay. I've participated for 2 years, I think, and it is a special format. It's produced some really terrific things and is a great, I think, incubator experience.
Yeah, it's designed to really meet the instructor where they are and to meet the needs as that instructor articulates them. So that could be small changes that happen gradually over time, perhaps in one semester, perhaps across 3 or 4, or it could be really sort of big changes to the course. It's all about what the instructor wants to do, how they want to pace the shifts. So I think that what you notice there, the diversity of changes that come about, the diversity of projects, reflects the fact that we're trying to meet people where they are with what they need, and leverage instructor motivation, right? We talk about that, not just student motivation in the course, but what's instructor motivation look like to take on the daunting task of teaching a large course and trying to use active learning and engage with students. So it's designed to meet people where they are and help instructors articulate their own goals around teaching. Yeah.
I would just say for me that this sounds a little strange to say because university instructors spend all of their adult life in the classroom, first as students and then as instructors. And so they're in classrooms every day, but the classroom changes drastically over the course of time. And so every instructor has their own experience of having been a student under a certain idea about what pedagogy is supposed to look like and operating with certain theories that 10 or 15 or 20 years later are no longer the operable theories, and that changes drastically. And it's an odd sort of thing because you've been in the classroom as these changes are happening, but you haven't actually been experiencing them in the same way. And so for me, one of the strengths of the Large Course Initiative was to actually put me in 1 week in particular, like actually literally put me back into a classroom. And so one of the things that the participants do is they go to class and they participate in class as a student. And it was earth-shattering, honestly, to think about how different that experience was as compared to my experience in a classroom. And one of the differences is just pretty plain. I went to a small liberal arts college. I've never walked into a large lecture course as a student. And the course that I visited during the LSI was a huge course. And it just struck me how active and loud and how mobile the classroom is. And there are screens in a classroom that take up a lot more space than had ever been the case when I was a student. And there's talking and movement. It's an incredibly daunting environment from the standpoint of the student. And that's something that the instructor is not going to know that because you just don't know what the class feels like from the 20th row.
Yeah.
Wow.